These images, released by Amnesty International, show the devastating impact of a major Boko Haram attack. The first satellite photos were taken the day before the jihadists struck. Then, 4 days later, burnt-out buildings can be seen in Baga town. Amnesty says 620 buildings were damaged or completely destroyed by fire. In the nearby settlement of Doron Baga, on the shores of Lake Chad, more than 3,000 structures were targeted. The well-armed gunmen initially captured the military base before shooting whoever they could in Baga and the surrounding villages.
Much of the northeast of Nigeria is extremely inaccessible and dangerous. So much so that these first pictures of the violence around Baga have come from these satellite images. They show the destructive nature of the group Boko Haram, but they don't give us any more clues as to how many people were killed in this violence.
The extremist group has a long track record of violence against civilians. The Nigerian government says no more than 150 people were killed in Baga, but people fleeing suggest the number is far higher. One eyewitness told the BBC that the jihadists have detained dozens of women in the captured town. They wouldn't be the first to be held against their will by Boko Haram. More than 200 schoolgirls kidnapped from Chibok 9 months ago are still not free. The Nigerian military has managed some successes, repelling recent Boko Haram attacks. But the jihadists seem to be growing in strength. On a visit to Nigeria, the former head of the United Nations spoke to the BBC about the crisis in the northeast.
Their brutality, the murdering of innocent women, children and men cannot be condoned. They are determined to instill fear and intimidate the population in the whole area. And obviously the government, with the support of international partners, should do whatever it can to end the insurgency.
500,000 people have now fled the violence and headed for the main city of Maiduguri. There they can get some help, but the humanitarian agencies cannot get to the worst-hit areas. This conflict is destroying communities and tearing helpless families apart. The Baga attack marks an escalation in the crisis. Will Ross, BBC News, Lagos.